We are excited to welcome our next speaker, Tushar Sahu, the Cloud Director at Google, with his extensive expertise in Google Cloud technologies. He will provide us with deep industry insight on how cloud computing is shaping business and technology innovation worldwide. Please welcome him on the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, I'll give a little bit of time for some people are coming in. I am very glad to see the participation. Let me just give a few more minutes. Please settle down. It's not a typical class. You can all come to the front. You don't have to escape the class. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak a little bit about what's happening in the industry, right? So I would be talking about how we are applying AI to solve our customer and partner problems at Google Cloud, specifically within Google, but taking example of Google Cloud. But right before that, I just wanted to briefly introduce myself. So I don't know, something wrong with the slides. So my name is Tushar Sahu. So I'm an engineering director at Google Cloud. I have 22 years of experience, and I lived across the globe for 17 plus years before I head back to India, back in 2020, right? So why did I head back to 2020 to India? Because I saw the momentum that India was getting into, like all the bright and young engineers such as yourself has made the country really great. And the advancement when I left long back and when I came back, things have changed quite a lot. So I didn't want to miss that boat, right? So just to give you a sense, I lived in Singapore for a year and 6 years in Europe, 10 years in US Bay Area before I head back. So ever since I couldn't be more grateful to be back to the country. I have been with Google plus 8+ years. I think we lost the, yeah. Okay, let's leave that. I'll continue my talk. So I've been here with Google for 8+ years. Before I took the Google Cloud Engineering Director role, I was part of a company called Waymo. I think probably some of you would have seen the Google self-driving technology technology company where the cars drives autonomously by itself. So I was the ex-CIO of Google's autonomous company, which is Waymo. So let's talk about how we use, let's talk about how we use AI in our everyday work stream, right? So Google is already an AI company, right? So if you see here, every product that we touch, we use AI, right? So a very good example of that's in every one of your pocket, which is basically your Google search, right? So you use Google search, which is predominantly powered by AI. You see YouTube, we do AI-based recommendation to you, right? So what kind of videos you watch, right? So so that's the game of machine learning and the power of AI that we kind of leverage right now. If you are a Gemini user, you might see a lot of AI in our workspace products, right? So be it Gmail or Sheets, we empower our products by a lot of GenAI based usage at this point of time. So, and of course, Waymo, right? So back in 2017, when we were driving the car on the streets, it was the AI ML work that we were doing at Google was 4x of everything, because it's not that you give some recommendation to drive the car, you also put lives on the car, right? So the car takes 3 milliseconds, every millisecond takes 3 decisions to make sure that it's navigating well while it's taking the transition from point A to point B. Here's one of my pictures, so I just thought of sharing, the good old days, right? So I was able to experience AI back in 2017, right? So when I was sitting in the car and there was no one and the car drives itself, right? So and that's where my firm belief started, that AI can be mainstream at some point of time. Right now, if you look at AI and especially Waymo, we are doing 150,000 rides per week, so, and fully autonomous. So that's an amazing story to talk about, right? Let's talk about our AI platforms, right? So every time we build AI is, it's not a fun game at Google, right? It's beyond experimentation at this point of time, right? So at this point of time, when we are looking at AI, that how we make it reusable, right? So if you see on the screen, right, so we try to create platforms that can be deployed anywhere and can be reused. We have methods to productionalize AI, meaning that you have your DevOps processes or your data platforms that empowering our AI stuff that can be reused. So, and explainable AI, right? So if you see primarily a lot of hallucination happens and AI is becoming more and more of a black box at this point of time. We want to make sure that whatever we build, we are able to go back and trace it back to explain what's going on, how AI took certain decisions, right? So, and make sure that everybody is able to collaborate effectively, right? So the essence of saying this is, right, so AI is beyond experimentation and we are using it in mainstream application for everything that we build. So I'll just skip through all the things, right? So here if you see at Google Cloud, we are one of the major leading platforms providing AI capability on cloud, right? So you might have, some of you might have seen the demo booth done by our Googlers. And if you see, if you heard about Google Cloud, Vertex AI is our full-scale AI ML platform where you can develop everything very fast. Back in the days, we used to do a lot of machine learning, training, data science sort of work. Now, Auto ML on Vertex AI works very fabulously. There is a lot of pre-packaged industry solutions, right? For example, there's Contact Center AI, which is a pre-packaged solution that everybody can kind of deploy and start using it. And of course, on the below, the middle of the platform, you see the TPUs and of course it sits on the standard infrastructure. Are you okay with the background noise that's happening, or it's a bit irritating for you? Okay, it seems some improvement. All right, let's continue our discussions. So I was talking about AutoML, right? So AutoML is our solution, which is predominantly plug and play, right? So you bring in your data sets, you leverage our Google Cloud's Vertex AI platform, and AutoML gives you almost 95% plus accuracy. You can feed it to your REST APIs or wherever that you want to use as an output of that solution. So let me talk a little bit about the industry use cases, right? So now probably everybody knows a little bit of AI and machine learning. You would have studied quite a lot, but I'm going to give you a little bit of real world example of that how we are using AI. So let's talk about our Google Cloud AI-based customer support, right? So like every other organization, we also have our customer support teams, right? Meaning that if you are a Google Cloud customer, you run into some issues, you call our customer support center, and then you get some, you describe your issue and you get some support, right? But you might think that this is very cost inefficient, right? So Google Cloud is growing pretty phenomenally, right? So if I remember last quarter, we had almost $40 billion worth of revenue, thousands of customers. So we cannot have people answering some of our questions, right? So how do we deal with some of these things, right? So we have created very intelligent chatbots powered by Gemini, right? So if you see, if you come back and if you start describing the issue, we already know if you are a customer or not, what's your profile, what kind of subscriptions that you have. We have signals from your systems in the cloud that if there is something not working fine. We also know that if you have searched something, right? For example, if you are creating a new Google Cloud instance and you don't know how to configure a domain and you have been searching for that. So we have that kind of input kind of with us. Leveraging all of those data, we can easily suggest you through our intelligent chatbot platforms that this is what the resolution looks like. And also, not just the chatbot resolution, we also have intelligent action bots, meaning that there are some defined legal actions that you could talk to a chatbot based on your privileges, it can take actions. For example, you have, let's say, some level of compute and you are going out of quota and you want to increase some of this compute. So we know that your contractual arrangements can allow an auto increase of your compute. So based on engaging the chatbots, we can easily increase your quota space. We also can drive a lot of data and insights, and we are driving and generating using BigQuery ML for our customers. We know their usage, we know where they might be burning money without getting proper advantage of their cloud infrastructure. So some of these things that we have built using machine learning. So in order, so long story short, we are looking for processes that is predefined, repetitive, that we could fairly automate using AI processes or AI solutions. Of course, using GenAI on top to engage in terms of chatbot sort of mechanism. There is one more use case, right? So I'm going to talk about AI-based contract management, meaning if you come to Google Cloud and you want to buy some of this infrastructure solution, of course, you have to go through your pricing, you have to go through a complex contracting structure because these are all enterprise-grade contracts and people spend millions of dollars. The contracts has its own challenges in terms of what is the validity, what happens when you buy X versus Z, how come, what are the cross dependency of different products. So all of those contracts were being manually generated, right? So if you see behind the scenes, there is heavy big back offices which supports legal team. And then finally some of these contracts goes to the legal team, which legal teams are lawyers are much more expensive to kind of go through each of these negotiated contracts. And on top of it, the life cycle of contract was taking somewhere between 30 to 60 days, where the customer is getting really frustrated at an enterprise grade that why can't I close my contracts faster, right? So we have fairly noted, if you see, if I decompose, if I don't go through the solution first, that if you look at the problem statement that without a contract we cannot start the real cloud work, it takes a long time, it takes a village to get a contract signed. So we came up to the solution that we can go into nth degree of platformization, write rules, make sure the data is up and try to solve it, but no, we have more intelligent solutions beyond that. So we started creating finding all the places that there were flaws in the process, or those processes were so manual that it was taking time. For example, a renewal contract always looks into what was your initial contract, right? So because some of your initial contracts terms could be still viable, right? So how do we read through that? If you ask a lawyer to read some of these things, it might take a lot of time. They might also, human being might miss as well, right? So we have created an automated entitlement extractions, meaning that a GenAI powered solution can go inside your contract and try to understand that what actually we have sold, right? So we have also looked into automated obligation detection, meaning that some of this contract might be valid for 5 years, but you are renewing in the middle of the contract period. So we have to honor the previous terms. So in that case, our GenAI-based systems can easily detect and recommend our lawyers that this could be the change that we should not be ignoring. Automated red line summarization. Red line is a very pretty industry standard terms. What happens that when you send a contract to a customer, the customer says that no, I disagree with your terms XYZ. So what happens that there is a sort of a correction that happens between the two work streams, right? So looking at those corrections was taking a lot of time, and sometimes the legal words even change it creates a lot of problem in terms of what customers are obliged to. So we created a lot of AI-based solution to make sure that we can understand those changes and these implications in a much faster way. So using those things, we were able to reduce significant amount of our business usage, and not just that, the process that used to take 60 days, now it has come down to merely 3 to 4 days, because every legal contract still needs to have a second pair of eye at this point of time. But I think we were fairly able to kind of automate some of these things. At this point of time, at Google Cloud, having the power of the platform and the speed of doing AI ML at this point of time, a lot of industry are taking advantage of it, right? So if you see our Gemini-based and Vertex AI-based solution is being used across retail, healthcare, finance, media, in public sectors, right? So, and we are no different than that. I know right after this, we are having to go through some of these career talks, so I'm really saving some of the talks that I would be talking about how we bring those practices, how if you are one of the engineers that's coming in, what you can expect from an AI perspective, what work is being done. So yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to give you a flavor of how AI is being used in the industry. And back in the days, there used to be a lot of research, but we have now the culture of finding repetitive tasks so that we can solve some of these problems using AI. So with that, I would just leave it, and I would just leave it with one thought, that anything and everything that you do possibly can be automated at some point of time. So, and including this bad sound.
Thank you, Shri Sahu, for your expert insights into the world of cloud computing and how it continues to revolutionize industries. It's been incredibly enlightening to learn from a leader at the forefront of this field.
Next up, we are proud to present the Most Trusted Recruiters Award to recognize excellence among our recruiting partners. From a remarkable pool of 300 plus recruiters over the past years, we have carefully selected few who have demonstrated outstanding trust and commitment to fostering our talent. The award will be presented by the head of CCD, Shri Lalit Pandey sir. The recipients will be honored with certificate and mementos as token of our appreciation. The award ceremony will feature a special backdrop capturing the spirit and recognition and celebration. First, I would like to call Lalit sir for presenting award. First, we have BNY representative Malvika Singh, head of Indian campus recruitment, Lavanya AD, Vice President Campus Recruitment. I would like to call Mr. Arup Mishra and Professor Arup Mishra and Professor Indrani ma'am to present the award along with Lalit sir. And Vivek sir also. Mr. Tushar Sahu, Engineering Director, Google Cloud. I would like to call him up on stage for receiving the award. Next up, we have JP Morgan Chase representative, Mr. Chintan Doshi, Vice President Early Career at JP Morgan Chase.